Is that something that sort of makes sense or not?
I think to the London point, Easy Gym that made a good strategic play because they don't have that many in London, and of course they've got a landmark one on Oxford Street, so there was lots of good reason for doing that. And actually, where are they? They're in West Croydon, Wandsworth, Tottenham, Oxford Street, Fulham. These are not poor areas of London. And they're in, outside. They had a few in some, Cardiff, Liverpool. They'll be, so they're not bad boxes, and I guess I haven't gone into the numbers as to what multiple they paid, but if they, I suspect they've already made an arbitrage on the. They've already paid for half of it just on the arbitrage of an EBITDA multiple when they get into the guts of it and do what they want to it. So, what they've really paid for it in real money is probably a lot less than the headline price in reality.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was your? The small. Yeah, so I think all these models are trying to work out what they need to offload to fit into available boxes. I think there's always London's a classic example of you rarely find a box. If you find a box of 15,000 square, 15 or 20 that's available, you can guarantee there are most of the operators will be trying to have a look at it, and the only way you get it, if it's a competitive market, is you'll pay a high premium on the rent to get it, and they've got the covenants to support it, so they don't mind overpaying. I say overpaying, but paying more than is probably market to get a space that they know is going to fill very quickly with their complementary model. For the more premium leisure gym operators, they tend to be a little bit more discerning about where they need to be because they've got so many other facilities going on, whereas the low-cost one can really almost take any blank canvas and get going. And it's a 24-hour operation. So if they can operate 24/7 in London, because most premium operators clearly don't do that, so they rely on those three natural peaks: morning, lunchtime, evening, Monday to Friday, and the weekend business is helpful but not relevant per se. So so the premium operators tend to try and operate in premium parts of the city and town where they can, whereas the low cost ones will be looking into those sort of residential areas around the London where they know they've got 24/7 business, and they don't need to be perfectly slap bang in the middle of London for presence because their model works best when they're close to residential rather than workplace because they get the transient workforce who will prefer to train at night.
That makes sense. Okay. The other piece of the model in the UK, which I think Pure Gym has been ahead of Gym Group until very recently on this, is, Planet Fitness had the challenge for them, of course, having a $10 per month membership fee model is the name of the game is being the low cost guy. That is your benefit, and so it's hard to take up pricing, right, as a result of that. But what they did do is they offered this black card. The black card costs $20 a month. Gives you reciprocal access to multiple gyms. You can bring a friend for free. You get access to a locker room, et cetera, right? So there's a whole bunch of sort of add-ons that actually don't cost you much or anything to add on, but there's perceived value from the consumer's perspective. So that's kind of the best of all worlds, and hopefully you get more of your membership base to convert over to that, and you get sort of a mixed benefit from a pricing standpoint. So my understanding is Pure Gym was has been doing that for a while, right? And it seems like it's gone well. Gym Group just started it, I think in the fall of last year, I believe, the Live It membership, the premium Live It membership. The question I guess I would have on is one. So for Planet Fitness, I think their Black Card penetration is like 60% of their membership base, and I'm wondering if there's any reason to think that it shouldn't be that high for the UK low-cost gyms. Like, do you think that is the potential sort of penetration for those premium memberships at both Pure and at Gym Group?
I think that's reasonable. I mean, it depends how you trade. Again, if you're talking about just reciprocal usage and yielding up and just convenience, I think there is an element where Um,